Comic Curator, stop making videos about me. All you're doing is making yourself look bad in front of everyone who's actually knowledgeable and smart, and not those stupid goons in your comments who are unable to track basic arguments, and are assuming that the North Galaxy and all other sections are the same as the ones that exist infinitely in the universe.
There are bad Dragon Ball scalers and debaters out there, and then there's this guy, part of a group that has no idea what the word quadrant means, and actually altered definitions of key phrases and words in the English language while calling everyone else a liar. It's a serious mental health issue in the scaling community, and we all know that Goofku scalers are the worst in the world. Don't get me wrong, I love Goku and Dragon Ball. Have you seen my office? I have a massive wall of Dragon Ball toys and figures that I've collected since the mid-1990s. And I have Dragon Ball tattoos, but that doesn't mean I go online and lie about Goku being something he isn't. I love Goku for what he is and for his limits.
Oh, really now? Then why are there videos of you trying to debunk irrefutable feats and statements of Dragon Ball? Then you go around saying that every Dragon Ball scaler is a cult leader. You spread misinformation about them and trick your community. And you have the audacity to call yourself a fan after everything you said about the franchise and its power scalers. You aren't a Dragon Ball fan. You are a down player. If you were really a fan, you wouldn't be lying about them constantly. If you were really a Dragon Ball fan, you would not be sitting here spreading misinformation and trying to downplay the feats and statements. You are just a fake Dragon Ball fan in disguise. You're using that as a way to seem as if you are knowledgeable in the subject and that you know what you're talking about when you clearly don't. Anyone who truly watched Dragon Ball and knows about its scaling would absolutely not be saying the dumb shit that is coming out of your mouth. Stop pretending.
The word quadrant is used in the Daizenshu guidebook, but this word really confuses low tiers, it seems. Despite the same guide and often a sentence just before it saying there's only 4 galaxies, they will still alter that and say it says quadrants, therefore a quadrant is a cluster of countless galaxies, despite the guide not saying that and fully ignoring the context of the Japanese words for expansive and countless for words in kanji that mean age, aging eternally, and that don't age. When you have 4 galaxies and arrange them in a north, south, east, and west structure, just like how Akira Toriyama drew it for the guidebook and explained it in the same guide they used to alter the statements in, you can see that there are 4 quadrants of the universe.
The number of the day. Who could ask for more? The number of the day is 4.
Each of basic direction, and each has 1 galaxy. 1 galaxy is just 1 quadrant because the word quadrant means 1 section of 4.
And then you wonder why I call you dishonest and a liar. If you've seen everything he said, including the model he showed, and you don't see anything wrong with it, you either are misinformed or something is wrong with you. This is one of the very reasons why I call him a liar. Since this clown lacks brain cells, he doesn't realize that his own example basically fucks him over and crumbles his entire argument. The definition of what a quadrant is depending on the cardinal directions and its axis. A quadrant is a quarter-size divided split of a construct of equal size. Imagine a plate, and you decide to cut that plate into 4 sides, basically slicing it in half on north, south, east, and west. Push those 4 divided plates together to form a fully circled plate. That is what a quadrant is. All of them are equal in size and make up the entire plate itself. Removing one of them removes 25% of the plate. I looked up the definition of what a quadrant is, and don't get it confused. I already knew what it meant beforehand. I decided to look up a bunch of definitions, and all of them say the exact same thing as the last one with the quarter and how they're equal. Even AI Overview and ChatGPT supported this by also giving us the definition of what a quadrant, which is also consistent with the definitions shown before. So again, this is where we end up at. As you can see using your eyes, the statement says, and the translation is right below it. It says the universe is divided into 4 galaxies, and then we end up right back at the universe model that Akira Toriyama created. This is clearly a quadrant. This is evident within the way he drew this and how the statements are always backing it up. Again, as I stated before, the middle is the universe, the red is the division, and the purple is the name of the thing that is divided. This is what Akira Toriyama drew to describe the universe. This is what he wanted us to see and know. This is why the statements say that the universe is divided into 4 galaxies, aka 4 quadrants. What makes this a quadrant is the red and yellow. The red shows an equal division between the circle that divides it into 4 slices. This makes it a quadrant, as every example follows, including the geometric drawing. The orange is the boundary of the universe. It shows how there's an equal division between each and every cardinal direction from red. The middle ball describes the cosmos, whilst the orange shows the ending of it. The purple is the name of the split. The red is the division. The green shows the quadrant better. Tell me guys, what do you think this looks like? Let me show you what 4 quadrants is on a circle. Just a mere representation to show you how stupid Comic Curator sounds when he says this. This is what a quadrant is. You can see the four divided equal parts of the circle when the cardinal directions known as y plus y negative and x plus x negative. As you can see, each section take up 25% of the full circle and are clearly divided by north, south, east, and west. Now all we need to do is rotate the circle. Oh, and what do you know? The Daisenshu show the exact same picture and the exact same axis. The red is the division, and the green is the quadrant, and the orange is the circle. The model looks exactly like how a four-circled quadrant is supposed to look like. Let's look at the way Comic Curator interprets this. What he showed right here is completely false. I know what he's trying to do, but it doesn't make any sense, and all it does is prove to you how he's lying again. The universe is divided, keyword, divided, into four galaxies. They are quadrants of the universe that make up 25% of it as a quarter. As you can see here, this is not a quarter. This does not make up the universe. The north, south, east, and west are the galaxies that are 25%. These aren't quadrants. Those do not divide the universe into four sections. The cardinal directions of the universe are the space that is split 25% into the universe. What Curator is showing isn't a quarter. A quarter is a split between four sections. Comic Curator is trying to make it seem as if each four galaxy is taking up those sections, which is not what the Daisenshu is saying. Everyone, the context it's talking about is not about galaxies, but about the directions of the universe. The north, south, east, and west galaxy are in context to the direction of the universe. The four sections, they are not actual galaxies. He's appealing to the nominal fallacy as a way to say there's only four galaxies, which is stupid. The guidebook literally tells you that the cardinal directions are just the space, that what the north and every section is talking about. They literally say that there's an infinite amount of galaxies, and that those galaxies are divisions within those sections. Something finite should not be able to contain infinity, so this leaves us with only two interpretations of what the actual universe in Dragon Ball is supposed to look like, and either one is fine and fits my argument regardless. The galaxies in question are actual celestial bodies, and they fully take up each quarter of the universe with their size. Basically, the galaxies are the entire quadrant, and its mass, structure, and entire concept is spatialized to be four full slices of the universe. In simpler terms, the four galaxies make up the entire universe. That's one of the things it can mean. The galaxies are the 25% full quadrants of the universe, and that these four regions consists of multiple cluster of galaxies inside of it. Or it can mean that there is no galaxy, and that by four galaxies, it means just four regions of space. Only four space areas, a 25% split of the universe that encompasses its own galaxies and own planets, as well as creatures and stars. Either way, it will still hold multiple galaxies. It will still be a 25% quarter of the universe, and it will still be filling an infinite amount of galaxies. And since there's people who believe these four quadrants don't contain any cluster of galaxies within it because it wasn't stated, you are stupid. They're shown and stated to be many galaxies within the universe, very much explained and shown by the plot of the story. With there being a bunch of galaxies within the universe, and that by extension would mean there consists of an infinite amount of galaxies or multiple galaxies because of the universe being made of those four quadrants. I just debunked everything he said in this video, but does it matter? No. Why, you may ask? Because he's more popular than me while I look like a random person. His voice holds more power to people because of his fame and uncle status, but anyone knowledgeable would know this doesn't determine right or wrong. I can make a constant amount of debunk videos, but if I do that, it's going to seem like I'm clout chasing, which is why this is the end video for him. And since his voice is higher, he managed to convince to his retarded fanbase that I'm apparently mentally ill and need medical help, which is embarrassing. Your dick riders need to help your state of copium, because you can't debunk a single thing I said. None of your fans will ever debate me on this topic, and when I asked one of them to do so, he ends up never responding back after calling me a low tier, which is truly laughable. If I'm a low tier, prove that, and slam me right now. Otherwise, keep you and your fans' mouth shut. Let's continue this video and hear what he says.
And state it to be one for each galaxy. So scalars lie, and say the word galaxy in Dragon Ball means quadrant, and also a massive galaxy that contains countless more galaxies. Have you ever heard of something that dumb in your entire lives? This is one of the worst arguments ever. We have the author of the series itself repeatedly showing us 4 galaxies. You need to get over it and stop lying to everybody.
No, the one who's lying to everybody is you. The 4 galaxies that is getting talked about is the sections of the universe, not a quantity. The Daizenshu tells you this multiple times, and you are clearly incapable of listening apparently. The model shows them as a quadrant. The statements call them regions, sections, areas, and are divided 25% splits of the universe, which is backed up by the Akira Toriyama drawing model.
There's only 4 galaxies. Each galaxy is one quadrant of the entire universe of the mortal area. There's no such thing as a massive galaxy filled with countless more galaxies. That's really, really stupid. Y'all need medical help, and it's sad that anyone would have to explain this to you.
They sucked his brains out.
Anyways, this was debunked. There's galaxies inside of these sections, and there's nothing Comic Curator can say to change that, even if he tries to hide Daizenshu scans to cope.